What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, looking at a brand new continuous trap card called Call of the Archfiend. This is coming out in Extreme Force, and this is a very interesting situation because I think Konami designed this to be legacy support for one archetype, but I think it's going to get played, if it does, in a completely different archetype. You know that this is legacy support because it has Archfiend in the name, and then obviously you can see right there, this is Archfiend Emperor, which is the boss monster of Archfiends. If you don't know anything about Archfiends, or you don't know what Archfiend Emperor is, I guess the quickest way to explain him is he's basically Master Hyperion. His effect is almost identical to Master Hyperion. You can banish your Archfiend from your graveyard. You get to blow up a card on the field. The only difference is you can normal summon him, but he will blow himself up during the end phase. Other than that, he's basically just like Master Hyperion. The interesting thing about this card is, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and read you guys the effect. And when I saw the name and I saw it was a continuous trap card, I was like, Call of the Haunted? Call of the Archfiend? Like, I just kind of assumed that this would somehow like summon a monster back from the graveyard in some sort of capacity, and that actually is what it does. It is a hard once per turn, and it says target 1 level 5 or higher fiend type monster in your graveyard, discard 1 fiend type monster from your hand, and if you do, special summon the target monster. So this is supposed to be Archfiend support. I mean, yeah, I can think of like one legitimate play. I mean, you can summon the aforementioned Archfiend Emperor from the graveyard and then he won't blow himself up. That's pretty dope. And if you actually if you pitch a copy of Archfiend Eris to the graveyard, then you get to activate her effect. And I don't know, maybe you search, you know, Archfiend Paralabyrinth, maybe you search a copy of Archfiend Eccentric. The problem is, I'm pretty sure I just named like every good Archfiend card, and don't nobody be like, oh Cap G, what about Infernity Archfiend? I'm talking about like the actual archetype Archfiend, like the actual archetype that this was designed to work in doesn't really have that many good cards. Like, there's like 4 or 5 good Archfiend cards. I guess maybe you can kind of consider this, but this card doesn't really help Archfiends all that much. Definitely not more than Eris or Eccentric Archfiend, or excuse me, not more than Emperor, Paralabyrinth, or Archfiend Eris. The thing is, I'm pretty sure that people are going to run this card in Dark World. If you look at the card text, discarding is not actually a cost. You see the little semicolon there. The actual cost to activate this card is simply targeting the monster in the graveyard. So this means that you could target a Silva, a Gold, or a Graph, and you can discard a Snow or a Brow or whatever, and you can just activate their effects. To be completely honest, guys, this seems like Dark World support disguised as Archfiend support, because I swear to goodness, this card is so much better in Dark World than it actually is in a deck like you know, Archfiends. Because Grapha, yes, it can be summoned back by its own ability, but this is just another way to get it out from the graveyard to potentially tribute it to a virus or something like that. And since it is a trap, it is chainable. It also lets you possibly use like disruption. You can discard a Grapha when your opponent has a problem monster during their turn. You can end up using Grapha's like pop ability or something like that. That's pretty nice. It's just a little way of disrupting them with Dark World. So I don't know, I feel like Konami designed this possibly for it to be, not even possibly, it's clearly supposed to be an Archfiend support card, but it's just not really going to see much play in Archfiends, in my opinion, because Archfiends don't have the infrastructure to be a successful deck for the most part. Like, they have one good like high level monster, which is this guy, and honestly they don't really have enough discard fodder. I mean, maybe if you're running like Archfiend Dark World, that could possibly be a thing. If you're running like 3 copies of Archfiend Eris, and maybe you're running like 1 Paralabyrinth, which honestly I think Gates of the Dark World is just like probably better in that situation. Maybe run 1 Emperor, but outside of that, like, probably just run this card in Dark World. Some people are saying that this is actually better than Dark World Brainwashing, and it's a shame because to be honest, Konami should have just named this card like Dark World, Call of the Dark World, or some shit like that, because then it would have been searchable by Snow, and it just would have been like, it would have been properly used in a deck that can really, you know, take advantage for its powers and stuff like that. But anyways, whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. I really don't think that this is going to help Archfiends that much at all. I think that this card is actually much more suited for Dark World. Will it do a ton for Dark World? Probably not. If it was searchable, maybe, but you know, as it is, probably not that much. It won't make Dark World matter or anything like that. Anyway, subscribe if you guys have not already, and turn on those notifications for daily videos.